everyone, this is MaffumanCasting, the Starcraft Star Battle. This is a 6-on-6 ship-building action game starring Duncan, Idaho. Duncan, Idaho with the Raven starts off with the Seeker Missile. We got Jacob coming in. Jacob coming in with that Electromagnetic Storm. Woodrow, another Raven coming in. Just looks like he has speed, lots of speed, and a little bit of burst lasers. Cobalt coming on in with a Carrier, the first non-support unit we see. Trom comes on in with a little bit of extra damage on the longbow missiles, a little bit of speed as well. Looks like there was a Xanten with a Overlord. Overlord does look like he has that plague. We'll get into combat eventually. Looks like Cruiser on the red side is going to come on in with that backlash rockets upgrade as well as laser batteries. Trying to stay in the gas, but they were able to push them away from it. Warlord adding some support as well. Has 1.61 speed, and Yi, the Arbiter. Arbiter also starts off with the Electromagnetic Storm. Lefraisacap coming on in. Looks like he has some Mutalisks to farm. No abilities right now, no Plague, but that does give him some extra speed and Mutalisks to help farm. Right now he's going up against a Carrier with 5 Interceptors though, so the Carrier with 5 Interceptors is pulling back, but is trying to farm in this lane as well. And so, looks like Xanten was able to get a Plague off on that Guardian, doing some extra damage there, but being pushed back by Pipey. Pipey, the Void Ray, 2 upgrades on the Phase Disruptors, 3 upgrades on the Prismatic Beam, is doing more damage to capital ships, but still one-shot farming, fantastic, but that leaves him with less money to have Blink, that type of stuff. Was able to push back a little bit, but now the blue side is trying to see if they can push up. They do have quite a bunch of support units. I mean, there's enough support units on the red side as well, so it's not like, no support units, but I have 2 Ravens versus 1 Raven. Looks like, Yi is going to try to push up against Jacob. Jacob needs to get some heals from Duncan, Idaho. Duncan, Idaho is not in the position where he actually is doing that. Xanten moving in. Beautiful Plague right there on all 3. Does scare them off. Looks like Warlord's going to push up there as well, but mostly just trying to farm. Trom pushing back as well. Trom with the 1.71 speed is able to get on back away from the Pipey with 1.86 speed relatively easily. Although he's slower, obviously, he just was keeping pace pretty well enough to get back to base. Xanten, another Plague on the swing and miss a Plague on the on Warlord, and Plague is always going to do some damage. Some people do try to shoot the, Terran ships, Protoss ships, ones that can't heal up. However, if Warlord was pushing up and if you were able to get the Plague off, it's not a bad idea to get them. They happen to be able to heal up afterwards, but they're still going to take that damage. It doesn't do any less damage right there. Looks like the red side was able to win the battle of who can do the first push. Looks like they are, trying to start off that money advantage, still in the hundreds right now. Let's see how far they can get. With Plague, anybody who was plagued is going to be able to, not heal up, so they're going to have to get back. Looks like Cobalt went for some very early Tempests. Very early Tempests can do some pretty good stuff, though, because there is an Overlord, nice and squishy. Yi, the Arbiter, is squishy. Limitless, Raven, and Pipey also can't really attack at far distances. Warlord can't launch out any interceptors. The only one who can is the frigate right there. But it looks like money situation. They're all going to get back. 1060 for Lefraisacap. So he can put that money to pretty much anything. Let's see what he ends up getting. Warlord 432. Yi, almost 700. Pipey 600 right there. Cruiser being greedy, getting that little extra money. Not a bad thing. I mean, there's not super amount of things that could hurt him, but absolutely will get Seeker Missiled, stormed. He's not going to die. He's just going to be, a little bit hurt for the money he made. He wants to make some more money though. Looks like these Tempests are going to slowly move on up there. Lefraisacap goes for Psyblast. Psyblast is a great ability. Upgraded it a bit. Starts off with, I think only like 1200, and he upgraded it to 1655. He does take a Seeker Missile, does have to get on back to base, is heavily injured, but pretty close to base as well. 117, could barely get a warp if he wants to. Pipey, gonna move on in there. Did use some of that 600 money to buy some charge. He's relatively speedy, so he decided to just double the damage he can do. Cobalt And the House Tempest are going to put in a little bit of damage up against Cruiser. Cruiser's going to move on back, going to get a little bit of healing from Limitless. Good job right there. Going to try to push on up against Duncan Idaho. Duncan Idaho gets some help from Jacob. Woodrow, though, should also give him some love as well. He's right there. He's so close. But is that a nuke on a Void Ray? A nuke on a Void Ray is so close. He doesn't have Blink, though. It could just barely work. That's a relatively rare thing to happen, but it could happen. It does right there. We got a Yee possibly able to give him some shields. Doesn't. Limitless does barely have some shields. Does give them to him. Yee does give some chrono boost, though. He's going to get on back to base. But 2 ships are effectively out of commission right now. Cruiser moving up. We got Warlord launching some Scourge, fantastic peanut butter jelly right there. We got some Scourge as well as Adrenal Overload to launch some damage, dealing Scourges, and then heal up your energy. Take some hit point damage, but that's fine. The third part of this little triangle is to get Dark Swarm. He doesn't have enough money for that. He does now if he goes back to base. Lefraisacap moving in. He does have that Side Blast. Continuing to use that. Gonna launch it right there on Woodrow. There's no there's a little bit of a startup time for Side Blast. A little bit less, but a lot less than the Secret Missile. So look at that. He was able to launch 2 in that time. He's still gonna take some damage, of course, from Secret Missile. But he was able to get 2 shots off right there. Ooh, beautiful EMP on Jacob. Duncan Idaho moving up. Duncan Idaho looks like he has Secret Missile as well. 2 Secret Missile Ravens. They are lower on DPS, so that does make some sense. I'm going to try to hold off judgment on Secret Missile. It is somewhat helpful. It does, I don't think it's as helpful as EMP, but it is somewhat helpful. Lefraisacap launching up. Has Side Blast. Gonna keep on moving. Another Secret Missile. No, almost. Woodrow has so few health. He has to get healed by Duncan Idaho, though. He might not make it back to base otherwise. Duncan Idaho, give him some love. He's right there, just guiding him. 50-49. There we go. Okay, Duncan Idaho, given some shields right there, just enough to have Woodrow learn his lesson, but go back to base. Warlord launching some Scourge at Jacob. Jacob going to run away, going to take some damage though. Duncan Idaho will have to try to attack right there, launching his Secret Missile at the Guardian. Cruiser moving up. Cruiser has 4 laser batteries, more backlash rockets, trying to do some damage against Cobalt's 7 upgraded interceptors. Because Cobalt went for Tempest, which do a lot of damage. They also cost a lot of money, so he has less money to put into interceptors. So the interceptors are fine, but they're not as fine as they could be if they didn't have to have some Tempest competition. Zaytan moving in. He does have the upgraded Plague, and he did use it on Cruiser right there. Cruiser is a fantastic unit to use Plague against because the frigates can't heal themselves. They can get shields, but they can't heal any hull damage the way that battle cruisers could, or dreadnoughts could. Limitless gonna move on back. Limitless knows his limits, doesn't want to go in against these Tempests, which are upgraded 7 times, doing 280 each shot at 18 range. When you upgrade Tempest, you upgrade their damage, or you could just upgrade range in general. Range in general helps interceptors. It also helps Tempest. It also helps your particle instructors, but they're 2 separate upgrades. 2 separate things that cost money. Woodrow taking some damage. Looks like still no EMPs from either of the Ravens, but look at these Secret Missiles, basically guaranteeing some damage. I mean, you can run away from them, but if you run away from them, you lose your strategic positioning. Will take some damage. Yee looks like he did make it back to base, but look, he's already back at base. So they were pushing, now they're back at base. Pipey gonna try to attack some interceptors, but does want to avoid that. Does use that Blink. Upgraded it to 6 a little bit. I think it's just a starting radius. Warlord trying to get away from these Tempests, but going along the side where he's still getting damage. Looks like now he has that third part of the Guardian triangle that we're talking about. Adrenal Overload to recharge his energy, so he can use his abilities more often. Scourge is doing damage. Dark Storm healing up, giving him some protection. Still longish cooldowns for these things, but super helpful. Looks like Pipey's going to try to go on. He's going to see if he can get some damage in, but the blue side was pretty smart and moved back without letting them happen. Ooh, Jacob using that feedback. Jacob deciding to go for the energy war right here. Looks like the energy war is being fought to some degree. Looks like Yi has feedback. Limitless has EMP. Looks like Lefraisacap doesn't have Siphon just yet. Jacob does have that on the blue side. That feedback. Woodrow now having that EMP. Duncan Idaho now having that EMP. Looks like Zatan doesn't have that Siphon energy. So it looks like now the EMPs, the energy drain abilities are coming out. Most people do start off with them. It's not necessary. It is super helpful. It is necessary at some point to get them, I will say. But you can. But it's more helpful now that everybody has an ability to most degrees. Most people have an ability. Most people have things that they don't want to have their energy drained to do. In the very beginning, they might not have that, so it's less helpful, I guess, to have EMP against somebody who doesn't have, you know, Scourge or something. So you can be a little bit more patient. Most people do start off with it, though. It looks like Zatan is going to move in. The Dark Swarm does stay and does give that layer of protection to anybody who occupies that space. It starts off wherever Warlord puts it, but it can be you know, bullied over, and Zatan does take that. Limitless using that EMP against Jacob. Jacob had enough energy to give Chrono Boost Love to Zatan. Looks like Trom's going to move on back. Trom's going to be hit by those Scourge. Not killed, but hit. Looks like he... Let's see if he starts healing up. He does not seem to have any Biosteel. Should probably get that. Ooh, he does have that Nuke, though. So he spent a lot of money on Nuke, which is a super high damage ability. It is very susceptible to EMP, or other energy drain abilities, but if you get it off, most of these people are pretty low on health. They're not big tanks. There's actually no tanks on anybody's side. The tankiest unit is maybe, I guess, the frigate, the Guardian at this point. Probably the most tanky thing. He's not a tank. He's a far distance damage dealing specialist unit, but he has the ability to heal himself. That's almost like a tank. And it looks like the blue side is definitely going to retreat in time. Woodrow taking the final little bit of damage, but being protected by the natural Dark Swarm, the natural gas in the middle. And Cobalt putting his 11 upgraded Tempest right there. They know they're going to fly into it. They know they don't want to fly into it. Taking some damage. Looks like the Lefraisacap was the unfortunate soul to take most of these, you know, the Tempest attention. Warlord launching out some Scourge just to do an extra little bit. Looks like even with a little bit of love from Jacob, Shield Love as well as Chrono Boost Love, Duncan Idaho is going to have to move on back to the safety of the mothership. Looks like with that, blue side is going to try to farm up. Now they are a little bit behind-ish, but you know, that's basically what's to be expected. At some point, the one team will have a little bit higher number. Whoever's attacking will try to push that number a little bit higher. Blue side, because they retreated with most of their units relatively unhurt, they could just go be attacked, and go back to base, heal up, upgrade up, whatever they need to be, without letting the Warp Prison take too much damage, and without letting this number get out of control. Look, the blue side was able to maintain that advantage while attacking. That means they're slightly going to be ahead. If the red side was able to boost this up to like 28, something like that, it still wouldn't be that big of a deal because the blue side is on the attack just now. And with that, they really can't, you know, continue attacking. Double Secret Missile, run, Limitless. You have 1.91 speed. The Secret Missile is about that quick as well, but Yi gives him a little bit of Chrono Boost to boost his speed up, make him run a little bit faster. One Secret Missile did time out. The other Secret Missile is not timed out just yet. Look how far he went all the way back to base. Basically, I mean, he didn't take the damage, but look how much potential money he didn't make as well. Looks like the Lefraisacap moving in. Now, he does have his one ability, 2290. So what he decided to do is just double down, triple down, quadruple down on Side Blast. Why is that a good strategy? Well, because look at this. Squishy ship, squishy ship, squishy ship, squishy ship. We have, you know, the toughest unit is Trom, the battlecruiser. Battlecruiser has some shields, doesn't have any armor. It could get some armor, but there's no tanks. So just having a super high damage, you know, Side Blast just could work out. Kamehameha blasting. Trom. Oh, he tried to launch his nuke, but he got held up. Yee, holding him up. These Tempests are in a great position. They're going to keep on flying. Beautiful Plague by Zaytan on Yee. Trom taking a whole bunch of damage. Nuke being launched. Warlord being taken out by Zaytan, but also the nuke hit him as well. We got the Lefraisacap launching a Side Blast at Zaytan. Looks like this Observer Buddy is still available. And is in the gas right there. That gives a little layer of protection, or vision, so if the red side is in the gas, there is some visibility there. It's less helpful. Cruiser going up here, 1.71 speed, not very speedy, but in a great position. Doesn't want to stay too long though. The rest of the blue side is getting back to base. Looks like they have 401, Cobalt with 951. Zetan has about 530. Woodrow has 200. Trum still farming, but has 300. And it looks like Duncan, Idaho has a 405. He's using that extra vision right there. Lefraisacap does want to is angry, is launching out his side blast, his super quick ability. The EMP being used, but he has so much energy backed up that it's actually almost working out right there. He can launch it again, especially with Yee giving that chrono boost. It makes him recharge his shields energy a little bit faster. Yee launching that feedback on Woodrow. The energy war is on. Looks like Cobalt's interceptors are relatively low right now, compared to where they could be because he put so much money into Tempests. Looks like the interceptors are at 15 though. They will survive. The Electromagnetic Storm does 125 to light units, plus 242 extra damage to light units because of the upgrades from the core. So every time that he upgrades his core his energy upgrades, he does more damage against interceptors if they stay there, as well as to capital ships. 125 to capital ships, 125 to light units, 1475 to massive, plus 242. But the interceptors have about 70 plus 70 life, can survive. They just can't stay there forever. Listen, trying to be there. He is hit though. He has only burst lasers at 4. He has the EMP Shockwave, been using that all game, but very low on health. No upgrades to his shields, just no upgrades to his plating. Not that they tend to get that, but not very many range either. Cobalt's Tempest just hammering down on this battle station, but most of the rest of the blue side isn't really going to commit to an attack. Trom's nuke is back up in action. Doesn't want to be draining his energy though, so he's kind of like moving in, moving back. He could launch it against Lefraisacap, but he is not doing that at the moment. Looks like he's super close to what he's going to. Looks like Lefraisacap uses the get away from me button, and is even with very low health is going to sit there. He's going to launch his Side Blast, making it back to base while doing that, a whole bunch of damage. It looks like there's a vortex being used a little bit too late. It does take hold on to one of his own Ravens. It looks like with that the battle station is still there. The Tempests are still there, hammering down on the battle station. But that was a fantastic move by Lefraisacap using the psionic shockwave. He did end up getting nuked, and he was ending up in like 1,000 life, but and just enough range to launch that Side Blast, doing that extra 2605 damage to the battlecruiser. That definitely helps finish them off. These Tempests are hammering down. This Seeker missile will absolutely finish off the battle station, but they're down. But it's now just a 5 versus 5 again. Cruiser pushing up. It looks like everybody's taking so much damage from these Tempests, and nobody really wants to commit, but because they're all not tanks. But if you're in the position where you could do some damage, you have to run away as well. Looks like you're gonna move on back to base. The stasis field is back up in action. With that, looks like the blue side's going to move on back. We have Woodrow 600. Zetan has about 750. Jacob about 1,000 by the time he gets back to base. Cobalt 1,065 already. And Duncan, Idaho with 721. So with that, the blue side is going to let's see what they end up getting. 11 upgrades on his plasma shields already. Now with that, the blue side is at their base. This is the red side side's time to shine. And it looks like they're going to try to push. They don't want to push too far because they just saw the Vortex is an option. They can get stopped. If any of them get stopped, they're all super low health. If you get a Vortex plus some Tempest, the Tempest will just hammer you out, especially because there's a little bit of a startup lag time, even for super speedy ships. To go from 0 to whatever your max speed is takes a little bit of time. So 1.71 speed or 1.9 wind speed. Some ships are a little bit faster at that, but all ships at 0 aren't moving. So at a certain point they're going to get away from the Tempest range because the Tempest don't move very quickly. However, I mean 1.35, they don't move very quickly. However, during that time, if they're doing 560 each shot, you're going to take a whole bunch of shots and a whole bunch of damage. Woodrow moving in, looks like Lefraisacap, super deadly, is going to be double EMP'd. Gonna move on in, he's gonna use his Psionic Shockwave again, and that does push, right in range of the laser beam of death, but does get feedback. Zatan moving in, he was trying to do some damage, but with that he's also taking a bunch of damage. Pipey doing some damage to Zatan, does take him out, but at the cost of what right there, does blink out just in time. A little bit of love from Yi right there to protect him, and he does make it back with, he only had 382 life. All that shield is just given by Yi right there, with whatever energy he had remaining. Every time he uses any of his abilities, he has less energy to transfer over. He only restores 100 shields per second, not very quick at all. Drains 6 per second. But Yi gonna move on back. He has those phaser disruptors in that extra range. And it looks like Pipey's going to move on back to base. Woodrow taking some damage as well. Lefraisacap, really good use of that Psionic Shockwave. The Bobby Hill to get away from Neva, and that's my first, I don't know you. Ooh, Seeker Missile. Did take out the House Sky Furies. Just because of the, they do area effect when they hit, and the Lefraisacap is right on top of the Sky Furies right there. Cobalt. Now, he can't launch any more Tempest, he just has a whole bunch of energy in reserve. 525 potential, already about at full. He can't launch any more Tempest because you can't just mass Tempest, you can only have 3 at any point. Beautiful, kind of like pushing up right there. Now that those Tempests are out, he can spawn them again. Does he want to? He might do that right there, but he's also retreating right now. Beautiful Blackout being used on the Void Ray as well as the Arbiter, and a Vortex to catch the Void Ray. The Void Ray can't use his fancy ability. He does have Cloak, so they don't want to do that. Cobalt Tempest moving in, Pipey moving back. Doesn't want to. He could try to do something crazy, blink in, do some Superman stuff right there, but it really would not work because there's just so much energy drain ability. Plus, there's the Cute Observer Buddy. Cute Observer Buddy could detect them. Looks like Cruiser is going to try to farm. He has the Fusion Torpedo. Fusion Torpedo can do some really good stuff if they catch him. Cobalt's Tempest with the one right there. It's actually the best situation that the red side can hope for is that there's only one Tempest. However, this one Tempest will be taken out relatively soon. Cobalt. Vortex, about 60 seconds of cooldown left, and the blue side knows it. That's where they're trying to retreat. Giving a little bit of support, some defensive matrix from Duncan, Idaho. It looks like Pipey wants to try to go for a sneaky kill. He's going to do some damage. Woodrow takes some damage, but he is going to be protected by Jacob. Jacob giving him whatever shields he possibly can. It's a shield transfer, or it's not shield transfer, it's energy into shields recycling button, and it looks like he has 600 potential. He's only upgrading 60 per second. Arbiter shield giving is not that heavy. What I mean by that is doesn't give as much shields as, let's say, a Ravens does. The Ravens is a shield transfer unit, 180 start. Woodrow, 140. So it looks like with that, the blue side is in base, healing up. None of them were super injured, so they did have enough time to attack. This money situation stays on the blue side's favor, even though they're lower in they only have 4. They do have they are richer as well. Cobalt moving in. These interceptors running away. You have to keep on retargeting them. They only have 20 range right now. He upgraded his range. Super helps with the Tempest, 19. Super helps with the Interceptors. We have to keep on retargeting them. They're going to keep on moving back to the carrier if there's nobody there. Taking some damage. Beautiful Beach Ball of Sadness on the Chrono Rift. Stopping some Interceptor movement. Interceptors deliberately targeted. They were almost around them. Now they're caught in the molasses. Looks like the red side is going to move on back. And let's see how much money they have. Lefraisacap, 451. Cruiser, 620. Limitless, even if he takes that damage, he's going to have 248. Pipey, 242. And looks like he has 370. With that, the impending doom of the Tempest are right there. Cobalt does have Vortex, has full energy. He could try to do some stuff. Lefraisacap moving in. I think the blue side saw his psionic shockwave shenanigans and didn't want to get that right there, so that's where they EMP'd and feedbacked and everything's against him. Looks like a fake cruiser. The Phantom right there taking a whole bunch of damage. Lefraisacap moving back to base. He doesn't have very much life, but these Tempests do so much damage, 680 per shot. Now the fake cruiser right there was the Phantom. Phantom is an illusionary unit that cannot use abilities or deal damage and can be destroyed earlier. Phantoms last 60 seconds. Side note, I don't like the word cannot as one word. That is a hill I will die on. It's two. But either way, it is just it creates this fake unit that takes damage. It does take full damage. It doesn't it only lasts for 60 seconds. But any shot that the Tempests are not doing against some of the actual units, the ones that can't respawn once they're once they die, it is good. Cobalt moving in. Woodrow is now being chased. Beautiful cloak being used by the Arbiter. That means that that Lefraisacap can only see one unit, and that means he's going to shoot at Jacob. Jacob's going to have to move on back. 1, 2, 3 support units. Beautiful use of an ability right there. Cloaking Field gives a little cloaking field around your allied units, but you are visible. So when you're the one who's visible, everybody's going to auto-target you. And things that have area of effect will still affect you. And Lefraisacap again, setting him up with the Sonic Shockwave, and with that, launching abilities right there. And it looks like that is just enough. Diving in there, super dangerous because that he only has 14,600, which is a way of saying that health and very low armor, but he has just enough health to get back, and he actually he just wasn't in the burning down stage as well, so really risky, but worked out really well right there. And then he can just finish it up with some Side Blast. Almost 3,000 damage each time. 400, 420. Looks like Cruiser has about 340, 250 from Yi. Limitless 144, 303. Not the highest amount of money, but they did pick up another unit. 4 versus 5 right now. And there's 4 units. Are all support units. Looks like Duncan Idaho is going to move on back. He doesn't want to take damage of that magnitude for that long. 3,000 damage. Looks like Yugi's going to move on there. Beautiful Blackout being used against Yugi. The Blackout doesn't affect Lefraisacap whatsoever because he's a Zerg unit. And with that, Jacob doing whatever he possibly can, using that that cloaking field right there. Will they use the gas? I mean, to what advantages would that actually work? It's just Ravens and Arbiters and cloaking field, and that's about all. They have like Cruiser moving in. Now Blackout was used against Pipey. Pipey can't dive in there, can't do the stuff he wants to. Cruiser does have Fusion Torpedo, but the units that are there are super, smallish. And will they be able to avoid? They do. Field goal right there. But his missiles are just so good as well. He's going to have them right there. He's going to try to do some damage. Woodrow moving back. Will they overcommit? No, he uses the hold up ability, holds up Jacob right there, and Lefraisacap does have Psionic Shockwave. Will they let him go in time? They do. He pushes them back and just keeps on attacking Jacob right there. Jacob missiles, everything just takes him out. Pipey finishes them off, but that was another pickup right there. Oh man, the damage from that side blast, and I think that's going to be a good game. I really hope you guys enjoyed this. Make sure to send your replays to MaffumanCasting@gmail.com. Press like, press subscribe. We are doing Starcraft Star Battle all the time.